This is an Audi A3 Sportback e-tron, and I've been wanting to review this car for a very long time. What's not to like about this? It has a very sporty and sleek design, it's rare, and it's also a practical hatchback. So how about an overview of this car? The Audi A3 Sportback e-tron was produced for the 2016 through 2018 model years here in North America. Less than 5,000 of these were available for sale during that time period, and this is one of 140 2018 model year vehicles produced. So this is way rarer than you might think. The A3 e-tron was Audi's first plug-in hybrid ever and their last hatchback in North America. There's also several unique design touches this car has that no other A3 has, like the e-tron logos here in the front. This grille is completely unique to this car. These are the daytime running lights, this little light strip here. And if we continue down, these rims are also unique, and there's some e-tron badging even in the rear, right there. And this is also one of the very few available hatchbacks you could get with aluminum roof rails, which not only look sportier, but you can actually use them for things like these base carrier bars if you want to mount things like bikes or a roof box. The A3 Sportback e-tron's rear diffuser is also unique, and it looks like it has these cutouts for exhaust, but they're actually hidden right under here. There are also a couple of e-tron specific interior touches, like these e-tron door sill plates. There's an e-tron logo here on the gear selector and even on the dashboard. If you think this car is already sporty, there's actually another way to make it even better. The Sport package available for this car added 18-inch rims with all-season tires, an upgraded S-line roof spoiler, in addition to sport front and rear seats, as well as a flat-bottom steering wheel with paddle shifters. Now that we know this is a plug-in hybrid, where do we charge it? Well, if you look really closely at this Audi logo, you'll notice that these slats in the grille are actually fake. And if you turn this knob and just push this, the Audi logo will slide, revealing this tiny little charge port, which you can use to charge at home or use fast chargers on. And this gets around 16 miles of electric range, but your numbers could vary. You could get more or less, and you can actually commute to work if you live relatively close to it, just on electric battery only, and save a lot of money on gas. The A3 e-tron is powered by a 1.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that produces about 150 horsepower. You can see these are some of the battery connections, and this engine cover is completely unique to this car. And if you pair the electric motor with this engine, it produces about 204 horsepower. Now, there are three main trims for the A3 Sportback e-tron: the base Premium, Premium Plus, and Prestige. This car is the mid-grade Premium Plus, one of the more popular trims, and it has upgraded headlights, parking sensors. It's also got blind spot monitoring, and one of my favorite features are the dynamic rear turn signals, which look super, super cool, and I've been doing it for a long time. For those of you wondering, this color is called Cosmos Blue Metallic, and under the sun, you can see it absolutely glistens. And another reason why I really love this car is because I actually lived with one for 3 years, and it was a phenomenal, phenomenal daily driver. Another reason why you would get this car, besides the efficiency, is the added trunk space, because it's a practical hatchback. You can see it's not as big as you might think, but it's not small either. You could definitely fit a couple of suitcases, especially if you remove this cargo cover. You also have a couple of tie-down hooks and cargo tie-downs if you want to add a cargo net. But because the battery does take up some of the space, there's no storage under here. All A3 e-trons come with a pretty large sunroof, as you can see. It's opened all the way back. It's a pretty large piece of glass, and it still fits under these base carrier bars. But that's not the best part. Unlike most car brands, you can actually keep the sunshade for the sunroof closed if you don't want any extra air or sunlight coming in. That's a very handy feature, and it also looks so much cooler with the sunroof open. Even though the Audi A3 is Audi's cheapest model, the interior of this A3 e-tron is just absolutely phenomenal. There are a lot of unique and very luxurious touches in here. For example, all of these models come with leather seats. They also come with these really cool inlays, which are like interior trim. They have a layer of glass over it, and this one has a really cool pattern, as you can see. They're on the dashboard, they're on the front doors, they're even in the rear, and a lot of cars at this price point cheap out back there. And I also really like these circular style air vents, which are very adjustable. And one of my favorite features of the interior is if you press this button, the screen magically pops up. It just looks so cool. And it automatically comes up when you turn on the car and retracts when you turn it off. So if you're driving along and you don't want that distracting you, you can still put it down like that. This car also has the technology package, which adds Audi's virtual cockpit, a Bang & Olufsen sound system, as well as Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and navigation. And this is super configurable. You use this side of buttons on the steering wheel to adjust it. These let you cycle through different menus, like your radio, and you can also have your map open. And you can also click this view button to make your gauges smaller and other information larger. And the best part about this is that you can actually have a full screen map, which looks super cool. And even though this car is 7 years old, this system is still very responsive and it feels almost brand new. There are also some other important buttons here in the center control stack. There's this EV mode, which lets you choose from 3 different modes. You can go full electric driving range, you can use your battery charge or battery hold. So explaining all of these things, the EV range means you're using your electric range only, your gas mode is turned off. If you have battery hold, you're using your gas mode, but you have regenerative braking on. And the other one just lets you use your charge with your gas backup. There's also this button called Drive Select, which is your drive mode selector. You can choose from 5 different modes here, as you can see: comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. Individual lets you choose from several different aspects that you can configure to your liking. Dynamic is just the sport mode. And unfortunately, this infotainment system is completely controlled by these knobs and dials here. So unfortunately, it is not a touchscreen, but you can still control a lot of things through Apple CarPlay and Android Auto if you'd like. The back seats of the A3 e-tron feel so much more premium and are full of amenities which you might not find in cars of the similar size or class. Like I mentioned before, these really nice interior inlays elevate the feeling of the rear seats. You've also got these air vents, which are small, but they actually still do a great job of cooling you back here. You can also control the airflow. You even have these little storage nets, which you can use to put smaller items. And the seats also have these indents for your knees if you're taller. However, if you are over 6 feet, because it's a compact car, you might have a little bit of a tough time sitting back here. There's also a large center armrest right here with these pop-out cup holders, which can adapt based on the size of your drink, which is very, very smart. There's also a little bit of storage here, as you can see. And there's also a pass-through, which you can use to put longer items through the trunk up here without having to put down the rest of the seats. A massive thank you to Michael at San Jose Alfa Romeo for letting me review this absolutely amazing A3 Sportback e-tron. I've reviewed several cars here and he's been the one to help me every time. So again, thank you so much.